In this section of our course, we're going to be talking about animations and keyframes. CSS animations are a lot like CSS transitions, except they're way more powerful. Transitions do a great job of building out visual interactions from one state to another, and they're perfect for these kinds of single state changes. However, when more control is required, transitions need to have multiple states. This is where animation picks up, where the transitions leave off. Using CSS keyframe animations, we can create smooth, maintainable animations that perform relatively well and don't require reams of scripting. It's just another way that CSS3 is helping to solve a real-world problem in an elegant manner. CSS animations make it possible to animate transitions from one CSS style configuration to another. Animations consist of two components: a style describing the CSS animation and a set of keyframes that indicate the start and the end states of the animation style, as well as possible intermediate points. There are three key advantages to CSS animations over traditional script-driven animation techniques. They're easy to use for simple animations. You can create them without even having to know any JavaScript. The animations run well, even under moderate system load. Simple animations can often perform poorly in JavaScript unless they're well made. The rendering engine can use frame skipping and other techniques to keep the performance as smooth as possible when you use CSS animations. Finally, if you let the browser control the animation sequences, the browser will optimize performance and efficiency. For example, it could reduce the update frequency of animations running in tabs that aren't currently visible. Since CSS animations are made up of these two building blocks, keyframes and animation properties, we should define what each of these things do. Keyframes define the stages and styles of the animation, while animation properties assign the @keyframe directive to a specific CSS element and define how it is animated. The first thing you'll notice that's kind of different about CSS3 animation code is the @keyframe rule. According to the spec, the specialized CSS @rule is followed by an identifier. This name can be chosen by the developer, and that's referred to in another part of the CSS. The @rule and its identifier are then followed by a number of rule sets. Rule sets are style rules with declaration blocks as in normal CSS code. The chunk of a rule set is delimited by the curly braces, which nest the rule sets inside the @rule. This is very similar to how you would find other @rules. So here's a breakdown of what a keyframe rule would look like. You have the @keyframe directive followed by the name of your choosing, and then inside the curly braces, you're going to define from at what point the style property value pairs are going to start, and then to at what point the style value property pairs are going to end at. This code is located on the root of the CSS page. It's not nested inside of anything, and they don't make anything happen on their own. We use this name later to call the selector. So just remember that nested inside the keyframe declaration, we have two other declarations, the from and the to, which are the actual keyframes. The purple from and to text here say start here and end here. The green definition, styles, is what's changing, and this should be the initial state indicating how the item should look and what it should change into. The keyframe animation call will transition those, and it's going to handle the in-between states or the tweening. We'll look at how this works in the next upcoming section.